how they say equality and freedom as the U.S. is based on. That's it.
So do you guys think, because I heard you all guys talk, but I have a question. Because it's kind of esoteric, right? So I hope you guys understand. Uh do you think that it's like it's more to our situation than just the oppressor? That it may have something to do with the curse, and that it's a universal law that we had to endure this curse for so long before it was up.
So I think the curse has a lot to do with it as well. That's why I said at the beginning, I'm not talking about the ones that's lazy and looking for a handout all the time. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about the ones that's actually working towards something, but it's harder to reach the goal. We know that saying. It's been around in the black community for quite a while that says you got to work 2 times harder to be in the same room that they're in. That is a thing. Like it's this experiment that I seen. The first person I seen a couple of people do this experiment, but the first one I seen, I believe it was a white coach, if I'm not mistaken. That the first one I seen, and he was doing an experiment with his students, and basically he had a mixed group. It was white, Asians, blacks, all up in the class. And he basically was naming certain things, and he said, "Take a step forward if if you qualify for whatever it is he's saying." And then he'll say something like, "Take 2 steps forward if you had two parent household." Most black people don't have 2 parent household, so the white people and the Asians and stuff, they took 2 steps forward. Take a step forward if your parents paid for your college. Most black people, college is not paid for. So, they moved up. A lot of them moved up. We stayed back. Say, take a step backwards if you was on welfare. Most black people stood back.
I'm sorry. I'm a bad.
So
Exactly.
basically,
Exactly. Go ahead.
when he got done, the white people were closer to the finish line, and the black people were pretty far away. So they're saying this is where you start. So that's just an example of it. What were you gonna say, Sonia?
I was responding to Puma Fist.
Oh,
Puma
okay.
Fist crying in the comments, talking about the tiny hats are the oppressors. Puma Fist. And that white people are the most hated group in America right now. Puma Fist. Aren't you tired of that victim mentality that you come here every Saturday, Sunday with? You gotta be sick of it. Y'all are such victims. White America. Is
Why
people
are we trying
hanging
to
y'all
hold
from
these down?
trees? Are people
I think
hanging y'all
we're
from trees?
as a people, and we're forgetting about that, right? We're forgetting about the curse. And the Europeans, I mean, you gotta look at their situation, right? Let's hit with facts. Fuck all this opinion and all this shit. We gotta hit them with facts. The Europeans only existed on this planet. This is factual. Less than 6,000 years, bruh. You can trace black DNA back to so fucking far. You know what I mean? We've been on this planet for a long, long time. Retrospectively speaking, we done something that we forgot about. And this is a universal law. We are cursed right now, and we have to acknowledge that. And we have to allow this enemy his time. And I do believe that that time is coming to an end. That's why it's like a reset. I don't know if people paying attention right now, but nothing is going on. It's like everything is just fucking shut down. You know what I mean? So I do believe that this shit is esoteric and it's bigger than us, because you got to remember, we've been neutralized and we've been conditioned. So I just believe that we're under this curse, and this curse is ending and our time is going to come, and we just have to be patient. You know what
Cairo,
I mean? Go
the
ahead, Tyler.
universal curse, we our times, so time was served on the universal curse in 2020, 2019, but we still have I know people in real life right now that got out of jail, prison, whether it was the state or the feds, and they're what, Cairo? They're still institutionalized.
Yes.
So the universal curse was broken in 2019, not broken, time served, like somebody getting out of prison in 2019,
Right.
2020, but black Americans who was under that universal curse are still institutionalized. So that's
Right.
what's so important about people like us and Black Chat Chronicles. We have the power to set the ripple effect in motion into this universe, to help me out a little bit, Cairo. But so let me ask you this, Cairo. Do you believe or know that? You said we're dealing with facts and not fiction. Do you
Yes.
know if the universal curse came to an end in 2019?
I don't believe it came to an end. I believe this is the beginning of its ending, but it's not ended yet, obviously, because we're still oppressed and we're still suffering, and we're still going through experiencing, a lot of oppression. But I do believe that the enemy time is up from a lot of the evidence on the surface and the way that things are happening right now. Yes, it's evidence. It's so much evidence, but like I say, it's esoteric, and they're trying to keep that. They're fighting hard. They're not going out without no fight, dude. Because
They're not going out without a fight.
if you know what's about to happen to these people, bro, listen, this is facts. Caucasian people are Neanderthals. They cannot fucking fight that. Their DNA was manipulated, dude. Was manipulated by something higher than ourselves temporarily. That's why, look, I'm gonna hit you with facts. They know. You know what a hate kick in with them? They don't hate us because we are black, dude. They hate us because they want to be black. When you got to explain to your fucking child what lights are associated with fucking animals, dude. If you Google right now, pull up a white person with lights in their hair, that shit look like a bunch of fleas on a fucking dog. They cannot fight this animal DNA. They have it. Listen, this planet is 4.6 billion years old. When they traced King Tut Black, which was African descended, he was already dead 10,000s of years, right? White people didn't even fucking exist. They only have a small amount of time on this planet than what we had. And the ass whooping that they're about to get is nothing compared to what we experienced. Once they return back to them caves, bro, that's it for them. They ain't coming back out. This shit is all esoteric. This is what the elite don't want you to know. Y'all gonna think I'm suffering from psychosis, but the Anunnakis are already here. Some of them never left this fucking planet. They walking around looking like you and me. Looking just like us. Fuck that Hollywood aliens or great shit. No, that shit is fiction. Our ancestors they on this planet watching us, dude. Communicating with us every day. All of these presidents, they know this shit. Y'all think I'm crazy too. We got so many
Then what
shapeshifters
would make you say that? Why would you say that, Kyra? What would make you say we think you crazy? I can't speak for Jamie and Solo. Right. I'm listening to you. Why would you say that?
Because most people can't rationalize it. Because they so caught up in Christianity and Jesus returning.
Cairo. So right now, you and me, I won't speak for Jamie or Solo, we're on the same thing, and the only disagreement, I won't call it a disagreement, but so you said something I wanted to respond to.
I'm saying they're going to start spreading.
You said the Anunnakis are amongst us, right?
They're right here on this planet with us.
I'm with you on that. All right. So how do you know that the curse hasn't been time served on the curse? And
because
so that's the difference in our
approach.
I want to hear you all the way out. Let me say this and you got it.
Right.
So my thing is time is served on the curse, but we're still in. That's 400 years is a long fucking time to be programmed. So when you come, if I'm saying the curse time served on the curse in 2019, we're only 7 years. I know niggas right now in real life that's still interested in doing 20 years in prison.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
You're familiar with that culture. So how do you know time is not served on a curse?
Because listen, you know that mothership that they talking about that they can
I know the mothership.
Right now. Listen, when that motherfucker land, that's when that curse is up. That's when they're about to scatter, dude. They're gonna be running behind, crying, and trying to pray to somebody. Because when them African descended carbonated deities get off that mothership, they're gonna be terrified. They're gonna be scared to death. They're gonna try to die of fear, and they're not even gonna be able to.